Hey Pisces, thanks for visiting. And if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you would like to. As I always ask you, don't do that if you don't want to, I don't mind. I would just be very grateful if you would do one of those things, but you don't have to. I won't say any more about that. I'm just going to get right onto your reading for lovely Pisces. It's a little bit noisy outside. Hopefully it's going to stay quiet now. It has been quiet for a little while, which is amazing. So the first card you have, your past, is the King of Pentacles. So this is obviously about jobs, business, money, all of that kind of thing, and mastering yourself and being on top of your game, which you were. So you were in a job or at a business at this time, and or you are still, and I think you enjoyed doing this mostly. I think you're a very competent person, you're very good at what you do, but I think you might have had you might have been feeling a little bit trapped actually by this job in some way. I'm just getting this feeling of you maybe thinking about some other options or something like that. You might have even been thinking about changing locations or moving to somewhere totally different. But I think maybe the stability of this job and the money that was coming in might have had you feeling a little bit afraid of this change. Actually, it was a little bit like you might have been having a sort of argument in your head or something like that. It was like you didn't like the thought of staying in the same position, in the same place year after year or forever. But then moving on from this might have felt a little bit scary to you as well. So you're kind of in two minds. You're a bit worried about all of this. I'm getting this sense that you felt as if you'd mastered this job as well. You mastered just about everything you could do in this job. You knew exactly how to do everything backwards, upside down, everything with your eyes closed. So maybe you were, maybe you just weren't feeling very challenged. This king seems to have everything he wants. He has, riches, everything. He's the king. He's the King of Pentacles. But he looks a bit bored actually when you look at him. He might even be asleep. He has his eyes closed. So, you just had this feeling of being trapped, not being fulfilled. You kind of knew your job and you're just looking for something else. That's what I was seeing. So that's what I'm seeing. So I think for now you'll probably stay where you are if this is resonating with you. But I think in 2019, I think you'll probably start to realistically look at different options. And look at how trapped this king is as well. He has all of these vine leaves growing all over him. He has these big heavy robes that are kind of holding him down. And so, yeah, you could have been feeling that as if your comfortable job was starting to feel a bit like a trap. So that's what I'm getting in that card. So the next card you have for your past is the Chariot. So yeah, I think you might have had some other goals as well that you wanted to achieve, goals that might have been related to work, but maybe outside of your normal job. I'm seeing maybe a side business. I am seeing one specific business kind of goal that you had. And I think you might have tried to start this up or put this business into place, this work into place for this business quite a few times throughout 2018. You might have had some false starts. You've started and then you had to stop or put it aside or something like that, or even let it go. You just didn't have the time to do this. But it was still on your mind, and it probably still is on your mind, this business. So maybe this was a part of why you were starting to feel so frustrated around this job, because you really didn't have the time to focus on this other goal. And the man in the Chariot card, he's totally focused on where he wants to go. So you want to be able to focus, but you couldn't focus properly. You just didn't have the time or the energy to do that while you had this other job you were doing. And so again, I'm seeing this business could be, or it could have been, a way out of this trapped feeling that you were having. Like this Chariot is kind of on his way out. He's on the move. But if this is resonating, you might have to think of some way that you can scale back on your main job in some way, or something like that, or scale back on something so that you can work on this other thing. And I think these are the kinds of things that I'm seeing you really starting to think about and put into action in 2019. And I think you're really going to start to move on this probably in the first 3 or 4 months of 2019. Yeah, the last card you have for your past is the Page of Swords. So, yeah, I'm seeing someone who was interested in you in some way. They might have been romantically interested in you, but I think this might be someone who was in your past maybe, and I think they might have been looking at you on social media or something like that. Actually, I'm just getting the feeling that they'd hate you to know this, that they were looking at you on social media. They'd probably be mortified actually if they knew this, that you knew this, but now you know this, so sorry, they're mortified. And you know, I'm actually just seeing them scrolling on their phone and making sure that their thumb doesn't accidentally like anything of yours, which is really funny. They're very careful. Their thumb is kind of going around all the bits and the likes so that they don't kind of like anything. So yeah, they don't want you to know this, obviously. So I think this person, might have been in your last reading actually. So if this is the same person, they definitely haven't moved on from you. I can see that. They might look like they have, but they actually really haven't. And there's also some disappointment about them actually. So I think they might be disappointed in themselves. And I think this might be around something that happened between you. I think they might be disappointed in not something they did, but they might be disappointed in what you thought of them, if that makes sense. You were disappointed in them before you broke up or around your breakup. Obviously you broke up, so something was wrong, but you were very disappointed in them. That's what I'm seeing. So the first card you have for your present is Strength. So yes, getting your strength, finding your strength. What I'm seeing in this card is you're going to have to look inside yourself, bring your strength out to try and manage this new project or this new business or whatever this is that I'm seeing in the King of Pentacles, because I think you are right. I think this is going to be your way out of this trapped feeling that you're feeling. So yes, I think you might have to do things like maybe cut back on your hours at work or find some other way to be able to achieve this goal. Now, it's not going to be easy for you, but I think the big problem you're going to have, obviously there's a time problem, but the big problem you're going to have is this kind of scared feeling around this. Now, I don't know if you have some kind of an unsympathetic or inflexible work environment or whatever this is. This hesitation's coming from somewhere, but I think you might actually feel some guilt around this. That's what I'm seeing. For some reason, I don't know why, you might be feeling as if you're disloyal or something if you branched out into this new thing. You wouldn't be. I mean, your intentions are pure. You're not doing anything wrong. The woman on this card's wearing white, and that represents purity. And look at how kind she is. She'd never harm this lion or do anything wrong. So if this is resonating, don't feel guilty. I'm trying to say guilty and resonating. So it came out as recitating. Maybe I should say guiltinating. No, that doesn't work. Don't feel guilty around this. You have nothing to be worried about. The only thing you have to be worried about is the time constraints and the practical kind of things around this, making sure you have time to do this, making sure you lessen your time elsewhere, such as in your normal job, or try and carve out some time somewhere else to be able to do this business. That's what you're going to have to do. The next card you have for your present is the Page of Cups. So yeah, this is really interesting. I'm seeing some kind of message coming to you. I think this is going to be some kind of explanation. I'm just getting the feeling that someone might want to clear things up with you. But I'm seeing something that might have been left unsaid, and you might have thought that nothing else needed to be said. Everything that was said needed to be said. There was nothing else. It was over with, whatever this was. But it wasn't for them, it wasn't for this person. Now, I think they might have been trying to get their courage up, feel brave enough to tell you this, and they might have been thinking about this for a long, long time. I think this message that comes to you I think it's definitely going to come to you in an email, actually. I am seeing an email. And what it says, I think, is actually really going to clear up a lot of things for you. You really won't be expecting this email. You will not, absolutely will not be expecting what it says at all. I think this is going to be a big surprise to you, and I think this might have something to do with this person, this love connection, this ex that I was seeing in the Page of Swords. And I don't think this message is going to come from them, though. I think it might come from someone around them, but it's going to obviously have something to do with them. It's going to be a big thing that you're going to find out. And I'm seeing you, after you find out this information, I think you might actually be softening your opinion of them after this. You might even feel a bit sorry for them. That's what I'm seeing in that. It's going to really change your opinion. It's going to be very, very interesting and a big surprise. That's what I'm seeing. The last card you have, your present, is the Queen of Wands. So I think this might be the time when you start to take action on this goal. I think you're going to be, not action, but I think you're going to be, because you're not rushing around, you're not going to actually be doing anything, but you are, nothing physical, but you are going to be doing research, looking things up, maybe kind of emailing, just Googling, working things out. And I'm seeing you, I am actually seeing you writing lists, putting things in order, all of that kind of thing. Now this is really great because you'll be using the skills that made you a master of your job toward making you a master of this new goal. So that's really fantastic. And you are organized, you're good at your job, you're good at all of that kind of thing. And, you know, I think as you work through this, you're going to start to become a lot more optimistic, really optimistic. And, you know, you're going to say to yourself, I can really do this now. I can really see that I'm able to do this. And, you know, there are sunflowers all over this card, and they're obviously representing positivity, but there are also lions all over this card. So it's like your positivity and your ability to organize these things are going to bring you a lot more strength and courage. And this is really going to work well for you in 2019. So all of these positive aspects are all going to come together, and they're going to give you this courage, and they're going to give you this strength, and they're going to give you this what's the word I'm trying to say? I don't know what I'm trying to say. You know, feeling good about yourself, positive about yourself, and kind of knowing that you're able to do that. Self-esteem, I can't think of the word. Anyway, I think you know what I mean. This is very positive anyway, you know that. The first card you have for your future is the Ace of Swords. So I think you're going to be thinking a lot about this message, this email, because it's going to be huge. You're not going to be able to stop thinking about this. And I'm seeing an impression or an idea that you could have around your ex is going to really, really start to change. I think you're really going to be able to really properly see through some old situations that happened between you. And it's like a real turnaround in events in your mind. Everything's going to turn around in the opposite direction. You're going to be turned upside down with this and really think, wow, that's how it is. I didn't know it was like that. And I'm seeing something that might have happened that you're upset or even angry about with this person. And you might start to realize that whatever this was either didn't happen at all, or something that you thought had happened might have happened in a completely different way, if that's making sense with you. So it's like your impressions of a lot of things around this person are going to really change because of this email. And it's going to take a long time for you to be able to absorb all of this information and process all of this, because it's going to be huge. It's going to be like, wow, this really changes my whole perception of this whole thing. And so, yeah, it's going to take you time to process this, and you're just going to have to be kind to yourself, take your time, just kind of think about it slowly and kind of just go with it, just take your time with this. So the next card you have for your future is the Four of Pentacles. Why did I say E? I don't know. So I'm tired, I think. So yeah, I keep on seeing this email because this is going to be a huge thing in your future. It's going to really change everything for you, and you're going to be thinking about this kind of all the time because this is a really big thing. And yeah, I think you're going to be trying to work through this still in your future, for a long time in your future. And I think that eventually you might want to even speak to this person face to face, this ex or whoever this is. I'm actually seeing you trying to resist this conversation for a long time. You're going to want to hold everything in like the man on this card, but you won't be able to. This is going to burst and you're going to have this conversation. And I think you're going to, I think there's going to be a lot of time before you actually come around to speaking to them. I think there's going to be a lot of anxiety around this before that. But I think you are going to be able to do this. And I think you're both going to have this conversation, and you're both going to this conversation is going to be really good for both of you. And I'm actually seeing more than one conversation you'll be having. If this is resonating with you, you won't be able to get everything out in one conversation. You'll have a lot to talk about. The last card you have for your future is the 8 of Wands. So yes, here's this big conversation. This is all about quick conversation, lots of words going backwards and forwards between you. And yeah, you're going to have more than one conversation. I'm seeing that again. You're just going to have a lot to say, a lot to talk about. Now, this is an axe, obviously. You have a lot of big history between you. I'm not seeing you getting back together at this time, but I'm also not saying that it will never happen. I'm leaving that open because that is an option, I think. That could happen sometime in the future, but not at this time. I think you're just going to be talking. You're going to have a lot to get through and a lot to process, both you and them together and separately. So Pisces, I hope this resonated with you. As you know, general readings can't always resonate with everyone, but again, if you like this reading, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment if you'd like to. I'm sorry I was so tired, and I'm sorry I messed up my words a bit and I couldn't think of words, and I don't know what's wrong with me. I hope you'll be able to fill in the gaps for me. Thank you so much for watching.